If you can learn the definition of perimeter, then I have solved the problem for how to derive perimeter. Alright, welcome guys to Maths Made Easy with Mr. Simplicity. Now I want to talk about a very critical and pressing concept in mathematics. It's also called measuration. That is perimeter and area of plane shapes. Now I know they have taught you severally over and over again, but miraculously these formulas refuse to stay in your brain. The problem is you try to cram them rather than understand how they were derived. These things were derived by people like us. So there was a formula they used, there was a concept they used, and that's what I want to sell to you today. I hope you listen. Now, first, let's look at the categories of plane shapes. The first category is what? Four sides. Four sides. And it's also called what? Quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Now, why is quadrilateral called four sides? Because of what? Quad. Quad. When you see the word quad, it means what? Four. Four. Quad means four. So that's why the quadrilateral is what? Four-sided shapes. What are the examples of these shapes? They are parallelogram, rectangle, square, and trapezium. Now we have the three-sided shape, which is what? Triangle. Triangle falls to be the only one under that category. So we have three sides, which is what? Triangle. Now we have zero side, which is what? Circle. Now let's go into the perimeters and see how it is derived. First, before we go into perimeter, or before I teach my student perimeter, there's a very major thing I always tell them: definition of perimeter. If you can learn the definition of perimeter, then I have solved the problem for how to derive perimeter. Now, what is the definition of a perimeter? Simple term. Perimeter is basically distance around a shape. That means if for instance, triangle, they want you to travel in the outside of that shape. So let's say this is a triangle, and they said you should find what? The perimeter. What is perimeter? You don't know, you've forgotten the formula. Let's say you've forgotten the formula for the perimeter of a triangle. All you need to do is to go from here to here and to here. That means whatever you have here plus this, and you've gotten your perimeter. And that's why I always say pay attention to the definition of perimeter. Once again, perimeter is the distance around a shape. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, or follow for part 2.